Hello everyone, welcome to Chaudhary Data World channel. Today I am here with a new video in Pandas series, that is data selection and indexing with Pandas. We'll be covering a first part of this particular topic into this video. So let's get started with the video. So this moving ahead with the data selection, first let me show you that what is our learning roadmap which we are covering in this whole series of Pandas. So this is our learning roadmap into which we have already covered up data import, data exploration and then data cleaning. Today we are going to move ahead with data selection and indexing. So this data selection and indexing which right now I am presenting over here is not that this much only. Most probably I will be explaining and ending up this particular topic of data selection and indexing in 3 different parts. Today is the first part into which I am going to cover up how to select column, how to select rows, then how to select both them combinedly. After that, conditional selection, or which is also called as filtering. Then function based selection of rows, function based selection of column, then query method. So basically we are going to today focus on selection of column and selection of row in all of these methods. So now getting started with the first one, that we are having the selection by column. So in each of them, either if you see selection by column, selection by rows, or selection by row and column both, we are having 4 different scenarios inside that we will be selecting a single column first. Then we are having the option to select multiple column. Now selecting column at the position wise, that means if suppose you know the index position of your column, now you want to retrieve that positional column, then you are having one functionality with which you can take out that particular positioned column. Then there might be the scenario where you need to take out the column range. Suppose that you need to pull out those columns which is residing from right from 2nd position to 5th position, whatever column inside second position to 5th position it is coming, you need to pull out all those columns against each of the rows. So similarly it goes for rows, and then it goes for combination of both rows and column. Now just I will move to the demonstration part so that it will be very much easier to get understanding of each of the things, that how is it working in a real-time scenario. So let's go to the this one that we are having, you may say the Pandas explanatory session, into which I am using Jupyter notebook. Into that Jupyter notebook, what we are doing, we are taking up a data set. That data set is Titanic data set. Okay, you guys must be aware of this Titanic. This is very famous data set which I am using right now for the demonstration. That I am importing it from the Seaborn library. No need to bother for that how I am importing. You can download it manually also and then put it into local to import it. So this Titanic underscore data is the data frame which is containing whole of your data set. What I will do, I will run in front of you. You can see that these are the headers of that data set, into which survived, P class, sex, age, every columns are intact over there. Now moving ahead with the first scenario, that means if you want to select one particular column, that is age, how you can select that from that particular data set? Then you need to provide the data frame name and just the big bracket, and under big braces you need to provide the column name. That's it. Once you execute it, you get that particular data frame which will be having only age column into it. You can see over here, right? Then we are having another scenario in which it may happen that we may need multiple you may say column. So when you need multiple column to retrieve from that particular data set, that for that we are only thing to note is that we are providing double big braces over here. That means double square braces over here. Inside that we will put our multiple columns, whatever number column you want. Definitely you can put it over here. As soon as you execute it, you will get the data frame with having 2 columns to it, that is age and fair. Correct? Now doing the same things but on not on the basis of column label. Column label means column name, that is age or fair. In this particular one, we can see that survived, P class, X, age, all these things having it's the column name over here. But what if we don't know the column name, we know the index position of that particular column. So what the index position is, how is it starting? So it is starting with 0. So survived is the 0th position, P class is the first position, sex is second, age is third, like this it is starting. So what we will provide over here, we are providing that we need to pull out the second position. Okay, we need to pull out second position. So second position, you can see that 0, 1 and then 2, which is our sex. Correct? This is the column which we need to retrieve with this particular statement. So once you execute it, you are getting all the values related to that particular column, which is sex column. Correct? Now how is it getting done? It is getting done with a keyword, that is iloc. Index location, the full form of is index location. This I stands for index and then LOC stand for location. So you are just providing your data set dot index location and then a colon over there. What this colon is, will definitely exploding moving forward. And then you need to provide comma and then your position value, that is the second position. This colon is nothing but it is demonstrating that you need to pull out every row from this particular whole data set. But when it comes to column, you need to just pull out the second positioned column from this whole data set. So when it is pulling out the second position column from the data set and all the row from it, we are getting this particular result. Now moving ahead with the range of the positions. So suppose we are starting with second position of the data set, ending with the fifth position. So this fifth position will be basically, this is second, then third, then fourth. Fifth will be discarded. So it happens that it will discard the last one. If you are aware of the basic concept of Python, you must be aware of this particular concept, that it will discard this fifth position. It will go till starting from 2, then going to 3, which is age, then going to 4. Correct? Now when we provide this range, it will pick up those columns which come under this position range. And again this column is there, which is telling you that to pick up all the rows whatever it is into it. Just we execute it, we are getting the desired output. Correct? Moving ahead with the another scenario, now moving ahead with the row. So if suppose you want to pull out row with some particular index, correct? So for that particular index 3, what this index is? This index is nothing but the position value of that particular row. You want to pull out the row which is at the position 3. How this position 3 will be defined? You can see that 1 female 35, correct? What it is, let's check out. So it's 1 female 35. What's its label? Its label is 3, correct? Its label is 3. What we are doing it over here? We are pulling out the position number 3, right? So it will pull out all the row value, or you may say it will pull out all the column value of the row which is on the position 3, and it is giving you the result as the Pandas series. Now what this Pandas data frame and Pandas series, I am not explaining you right now, but definitely I will clear you out. This Pandas series and Pandas, these both are the data structure which I have already covered up in the first class, that we are having two main data structure into our pandas, that is first one is the data frame and another one is the data series, pandas data series. So it is giving you that result with having all the columns value to it, that is survived is 1, p class is 1, sex is female, and so on. Now what if we want to retrieve the value, if we want to pull out the row value with multiple rows? So if suppose there is 3, correct, and there is 5th, so for both of the position, for both of the rows, we want to pull out every column value from it. Just that we need to provide dot lock, since we are providing column label, correct, we are providing row label, we are not providing the position, we are providing row label over here. So we are using lock, and whenever it will be your iLock will be there, then means it is telling you that just provide me the position. If lock is there, that means it is telling you to provide the location in the term of your row label or the column label, anything it can be, correct. So when we are going to execute it, it is giving you with the row label 3 and row label 5, correct, with all the columns into it. Now same thing we will do on the basis of position. Whenever I've told you, whenever we will use position, it will be then iLock over here, and this is the first thing. We don't need to provide it like this, comma and then colon. There is no need, because what we were doing into our column thing, that we were providing something like this, colon, comma, then 1. What it will do, what this will do, this will pull out the first positioned column from whole of the data set with all the rows into it. But if you want to pull out all the column value from the row that is on the position 1, we need to put this. We don't need to put this again. Why? Because this is by default understandable to the data frame, or you may say pandas. So we are just providing it like that. What you can see that it has pulled out the first positioned row along with all the columns, whatever it is over there, into your pandas data series. Moving with the range of rows. So range of rows will be again provided with range of rows, that is 1:4, correct, 1:4. We are not providing comma over here. If we will provide comma, then after comma there is the place of again your column. We are dealing with row here, so we are not providing comma over here. We are just providing 1:4, correct, which is telling that you need to pull out those rows which is starting from 1 ending on 3. It will exclude of course 4, which is you can see over here. So once you execute it, you are getting it like that. Similarly, select the age of passenger with index 3. So now it's the time when we are dealing up with the combination of row and column both. This time what we are going to do, we are going to take the value from the whole data set which is having row number as 3, or you may say row label as 3 and column label as age. So definitely there will be only one data related to it, because in this particular column age with row number or your row label 3, this is only the value which is over there. Once you execute it, you get it as 35. Similarly, if you are moving ahead with your iLock means the position value, you will provide the position of the row, then you will provide the position of the column. It will pull you the data that is female, correct. Moving ahead with the again lock. In this particular lock, what we are doing, we are providing the range of rows and the range of column against their names. Against their name means label. So the row right from 1 till 3 and the column right from age till fair, we are pulling it out, and this is becoming this particular data frame as soon as we execute it. Similarly, when we are doing the same for iloc means again the positional value. We are pulling the positional value which is having row as position 1 to 4 and column as 2 to 5. Then once we are executing it, we are getting this data frame. Now moving ahead with the another type of scenario into our PPT. The scenario is conditional selection or filtering. Correct? So conditional selection is nothing but as you apply your filtering into your SQL or any of the ETL tool, you may say. ETL tool will be a big term for you guys right now, but you may assume any type of data set operation we are doing, we are executing some query, right? That query only right now, this conditional you may say selection or filtering, whatever it is getting done. So suppose if you want to filter out Titanic data set, whole data set, into that you need to filter out whatever the age greater than 30 is present into that data set. Whatever passengers are available into this data set whose age is greater than 30, only those data should be taken into the data frame. Then you need to provide this particular statement into which you are providing your data set data frame name, then data frame name with this column greater than 30. It will just filter it out and it will give you the data frame. Similarly, if you want to put AND condition, I've just demonstrated into this scenario that how we can apply AND condition over there. That means we can filter on the basis of two scenarios combining with the AND. Correct? Now we are having another scenario of function based selection of row. This is something which is getting used into very complex logics. When you are having the filter logic as very complex logic, what you do is you pull out that logic into a function, you create the Python function that is suppose custom condition. Whatever rows are there, it will be automatically taken up into this particular argument as row. Now this row will be your data frame. That data frame over this particular column greater than 30 and row class, that means this particular column equals to first. So this particular column or this particular condition you want to apply on this particular data set. So this data set, to apply on this data set, what we need is dot apply method. Dot apply method on what? Dot apply method on Titanic data set. Correct? For that, what we are doing is we are doing Titanic data and this thing. So what it is, if you will closely observe it, what we are doing over here, we are dealing up with the row. So what we are doing all the things before this comma, because after comma it will come this section of column, and by default for row there we need not to provide any type of colon or something like that. By default it is understandable to the pandas. So we will remove it for now. We will just Titanic underscore data dot apply. Now this dot apply will not understand that under what thing we need to apply this custom condition. So that we are providing axis equals to 1. This axis equals to 1, it is telling that whatever condition over here, it should be applied on row, not on the column. Hope you are getting this. So whenever we are applying on the row, we need to provide axis is equals to 1. So as soon as you execute it, you will get the data set. Now similarly for this, what we are doing here, we are applying this particular condition, applying this particular custom condition not on the row which we are doing last time. This time we are applying on the column. Now on the column, I've told you that we will provide again column, then comma, then we will do the operations on column. So operation on column, what we are doing, dot apply, again custom condition. Now question it may arise that why when we are providing comma axis equals to 1 and not providing any axis to this. So by you can provide, if you want, you can provide definitely. If you don't want, you can't. Because why you can't? Because by default it is understanding that axis is equals to 0. Since whatever filters are getting applied, by default it is getting applied on column wise, not on the row wise. So whenever we are applying on row, we need to specifically tell it with this argument axis equals to 1. Here we will directly use axis equals to 0, or even if we will not use, it will not give any problem, because it will directly understand that whatever custom condition is over here, we need to apply it on column wise. So once we are executing this, you will get this particular one. Since what you have applied, you have Titanic data dot apply, correct? So you have done this application. So this is the data frame you are getting. Now after that, you are having another scenario over here, that is function based. We have already did up with function based selection of row, function based selection of column. Now hopefully this will be the last one, which is the dot query method. Now what this dot query method? This is very beautiful feature of Pandas, into which it allows us to use means whatever condition we are using, we can use it as a query over here. This query will of course will be your string. So just you can remove it for now, so that you should not be confused. Now this is very small query, right? Into what we are doing, Titanic underscore data and dot query we are using, and inside that dot query method we are passing the argument as query, that is fare is its fare should be greater or equals to 50, less than equals to 100. That the fare whatever is between 50 and 100 should be filtered out, the rows should be filtered out like this, correct? I have given some other examples as well over here in the comment format, so that you can get to know how we can apply into different scenarios, correct? So this is how we can apply dot query method. We will execute it again. So you can see that whatever fare, where is our fare? So whatever fare between 50 and 100 is there, it will be listed down here. There are 108 rows which is having fare between 50 and 100. So this video became very long, I know, but we need to complete it into 3 different parts. One part is I have already covered up today. In coming next 2 parts, we will be seeing other data selection technique and indexing technique is Pandas. So hope this video you find it very helpful. Definitely you will gain some confidence whenever you will be using your practical scenarios. And thank you so much guys for watching out the videos. Any confusion, let me know into the comment section. See you in the next one with another part. Thanks again.